October 7th, 2023 happened. And I happened to be in New York then. And so it was really difficult to try to continue to have the motivation to be able to finish the film because in the face of such a extreme live stream genocide, the likes of something that I've never experienced in my own lifetime. And I think it's probably the worst genocide that we've ever seen in our lifetime. I couldn't figure out like if I can continue to make films because what is the point of telling stories about human dignity and humanity if we're confronted with the fact that a horrible, horrible violence that is robbing people of their human dignity is taking place. And so um, so I perceive, I learned a lot from in this past year, and I am 100% convinced that it is in fact a genocide, and I have now learned that it's not just things did not just start on October 7th, obviously. Things have started a long time before that. Um, what Israel has been doing for the past 76 years and beyond is very clearly settler colonialism. It's not something that I've only been convinced of through uh, Palestinian voices. It's actually Israelis themselves say that it was a settler colonial project. If you look at the words of people like David Ben-Gurion um, or the founders of the Zionist movement, they say that it's a settler colonialist project. So the only way to make a settler colonialist project successful in a place where you do not live is by ethnic cleansing. And that's what they have done for this past 76 years, and that is what they have continued to do in the occupied West Bank, and that they are trying to complete this ethnic cleansing project and is facing a massive amount of resistance. Making a film and having the privilege of being able to go to these international film festivals such as Venice is a huge privilege, and that gives me a big platform to have my voice be heard to a lot of people, including Japanese people, but also people in the whole world. In person at Venice, there was a resounding applause to um, the kufiya and the Palestinian flag, and people were shouting from the audience, "Free Palestine," and I was responding by saying "Free Palestine." I have to say, like, I don't really believe that it's that much that I'm doing. I'm just wearing a kufiya, and I always wear a kufiya, and so it's a little bit funny to me that such a minimal act gets so much attention and so much gratitude. But I think that's the kind of state of the world we live in, which is even that minimal of an act, very few people do, which is very disappointing, actually. The Venice Film Festival, I was a little bit disappointed because you could really tell in the programming that they were trying to portray kind of this equivalency between by programming one Israeli film and one Palestinian film in the same section of Horizonte, which I was in. And so I was actually very disappointed at, as consumers. I think that's why boycott is very important, so that these bigger corporations realize that actually, if they do, for example, Wonder Woman, or for example, these like Marvel films that feature like Gal Gadot, for example, who's like a complete spokesperson for the IDF at this point. If they produce these content, then they will lose money on it, is what we have to be able to tell these companies by not buying into those projects. We're at the beginning of an AI dystopia. But more importantly, I think the responsibility of these war crimes being committed are being put on the AI systems, that the military AI systems that are being created by, for example, the Israeli military or Israeli software companies. This is a really, really horrible situation, especially considering how horrible the environmental impact of these AI processing systems are. The fact that the genocide is still continuing 366 or 7 days into the genocide, and now this horrible atrocities that Israel is committing is now spreading to other countries like Lebanon. The fact that it's continuing like this means that we're not doing enough. And so we should all be doing more. We should all be putting as much effort into stopping this as possible from where we stand in either as a filmmaker or businessman or lawyer or whatever.